everybody, welcome to my yoga flow today. We're going to start a series today on opening the chakras, the 7 energy centers in your body, and yoga is an amazing way to do that. I decided to start this actually because I'm reading the book Braving the Wilderness by Brene Brown, which I actually am really enjoying, and it talks a lot about fear and how society and some of the societal ills are driven by fear, and our own reactions are driven by fear and our own decisions. And the root chakra is our first chakra. It is the chakra associated with feelings of safety, with having your basic needs met. And when there are blocks in the root chakra and energy cannot move freely, we tend to live our lives in fear, have anxiety, worry, and those kinds of things. And that feeling of safety that we have in the present day is typically centered and associated with whether we felt safe in our early childhood. So if you've experienced abuse or even just an environment that didn't feel safe, bullying, those kinds of things can manifest in your adult life. And it's something I've definitely seen play out in my own life, and that, working through fear and anxiety is a big theme for my own healing. And I thought that we could maybe share a practice focusing on the root chakra. So I'll get started with just a little bit of breathing. You can take easy pose, which is the pose I'm in, or you can take child's pose if you prefer. The root chakra is at the base of the spine and the pelvic floor and the first 3 vertebrae. And so things that are associated with grounding or pulling energy kind of up through the rest of your chakras, starting with the root, are the poses that we'll focus on, although this will be a full flow. And as you breathe, I want you to focus on breathing 4 counts in, holding it for 4 counts, and then breathing out for 4 counts. And we'll take a couple of breaths together. As you're doing your breathing, you can think of mantras like I am safe, I am fearless, anything that makes you feel empowered and safe and brave. So begin, just close your eyes and take a couple of cleansing breaths. As many as you need, just to release anything that's kind of built up from the day. And then start your breathing in through your nose for a count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. Continue to do that, and I am going to play a little bit of this bowl that's for the root chakra. If you're not already in child's pose, we will begin our practice in child's pose. So towards the back of your mat, you will have your feet together, knees are wide, and spread yourself out, reaching towards the front of your mat. Forehead comes to the mat, third eye resting on the earth. This is a great practice to do outside if you have that ability. Reaching your palms, grounding your palms into the earth or your mat. As you breathe deep into your belly, and then out through your nose. Breathe in and out. And take a few more rounds of breath here. We're going to press ourselves into a downward facing dog. So come up on your knees and then press yourself back, rooting in to those knuckles and really the four corners of your hands. Tailbone comes to the sky, drawing your energy up through the earth into the root chakra and letting it flow all the way through your body. Take a little bit deeper. On your next exhale, look towards the front of your mat, step to the front of your mat, and hang in ragdoll pose. Elbows or opposite hands grasping opposite elbows, letting the worries in your mind or anything bothering you flow back into the earth. Grounding yourself through your feet throughout this entire practice, focusing on drawing energy up through the earth and letting it flow all the way through your body. Remembering your Ujjayi breath as you move energy where you want it. Exhale, breathe in, reach up to the sky, high mountain pose. Look up, pull your hands to heart center. We'll begin with the sound LAM, L-A-M, which is the sound of the root chakra. In through your nose. LAM. Breathe in, reach up, fold all the way forward. Uttanasana. Feeling your hands on the earth, your feet on the earth. Inhale, halfway lift. Tailbone comes towards the back of your mat, crown of your head towards the front of your mat, pressing into your shins, getting long in your spine. Breathe in, and then exhale, step back to high push-up. Making sure you are stacked, shoulders over your elbows, which are over your wrists. Core is tight. Shoulders are down your back. We're not hunched up. Glutes are engaged. Breathe in, rock forward, then bend your elbows to 90 degrees as you exhale. Inhale, upward facing dog. Chest shines open. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in. And sigh it out. We're going to inhale our right foot to the sky, bend your knee, open up your hip. Taking some wide hip circles. These hip opening poses are good to open up the hips where we store a lot of emotion. And we'll ground throughout the practice. Drop into wild thing or stay put. Taking some big arm circles as you really stretch out that shoulder and warm it up. Shine your heart open. And now plant your hand. Step your right foot towards your left hand for side plank splits. Moving the arm circles now to that left arm. Taking some big circles in any direction that suits you. Plant your left hand, step your right foot perpendicular to the side of your mat. For side plank figure 4. Sinking and raising the hips to add a little bit of dynamic movement to this pose. And plant touch your hand, step back. You're gonna come into high push-up and flow. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in and sigh it out. Inhale your left foot to the sky, bend your knee, open up your hip, and we'll take some wide hip circles on this other side. Going in both directions. Working through any energy. Flipping over to that wild thing. Circling your left arm, if you like. Noticing if this side feels different to you than the other. Plant your left hand. Step your left foot to your right hand for side plank splits. And you can circle your arm again, or take some dynamic movements in your hip this time, or both. We're going to plant the right hand, step our left foot perpendicular to the mat for side plank figure 4, lifting and lowering those hips. Remembering your breath at all times. Yoga is about moving the breath through the body. That pranayama. One more. And then we step back to high push-up, low push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. We're going to take a couple of sun salutations. Breathing in, sigh it out. One more. Look forward, bend your knees on your exhale, jump, step, or hop to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, high mountain pose. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, Vinyasa. High to low. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in. Look forward on your exhale, jump, step, or hop. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, Vinyasa. One more just like that. One breath, one movement on your own. We meet in downward facing dog. Breathe in, sigh it out. One more. Sigh it out. Look forward, bend your knees, jump forward, sink yourself in to chair pose. And as you take this chair pose, imagine your feet as a tree trunk, grounded and rooted, digging into the earth and pulling up the energy from the earth all the way through your legs, the trunk, into the root, letting that energy melt away any blocks. Sink 2 inches lower. Breathe out any negative emotions. We breathe in faith and safety and patience. We exhale fear. One more breath in. Exhale, fold to the earth. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, Vinyasa. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. We inhale our right foot to the sky, step forward. Spin your back foot, your left foot. Rise up to warrior one. Hips face the front. Knee stays out over that ankle, it doesn't collapse in. Strong in that leg, rooted into the earth. Sink a little lower. Breathe in. Cartwheel your hands. High to low push-up on your exhale. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg or your left leg to the sky. Step forward. Warrior one on the left. Shoulders are down your back, your ribs are knit together. Breathing in. Sink lower. One more breath in. Cartwheel your hands to the earth and flow. Very nice. I'm gonna do one more sun B with the chair pose. Breathe in, look forward, jump, and sink into chair pose. Just one breath. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, high to low push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg to the sky, step it forward for warrior one. Inhale as you rise up. Exhale, open up to warrior two. Your back foot is now parallel to the back of your mat. Reaching forward, looking forward. Your back arm is your past. Your heart is in the present. Your gaze is towards the future. Inhale as we reach forward. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Not collapsing, but just stretching through that side. Bring your elbow to your knee. Open your chest, reach your arm up. Extended side angle as you bring that arm over your ear. Checking in with your leg, making sure it's still out over that ankle. Breathe in. Now, come back up to warrior two, but now square your feet to the front of your side of your mat, left side of your mat. We're gonna have our toes slightly in, our heels slightly out. Breathe in, hinge at your hips as you fold forward. Hands are rooted in the ground. Tailbone comes to the sky. Your head is heavy as every thought you have that you're worrying about now, unrelated to breathing, falls to the ground. So you can take your opposite hand to opposite shin. So left arm, right shin, opening up through the hips, stretching, opening up that root chakra even more. Breathing in and out. Switch hands now. Right hand comes to left shin. Pulling that side open. Walking your hands back out, hinging back up at your hips. We're gonna Skandasana, so side to side movement. Low and slow. You can use your hands if you'd like to. Moving like a little ninja from one side of your mat to the other. Stretching through that inner thigh. And again, opening up those hips. And our next time to the front, plant your feet, or plant your hands, turn to the front of your mat. We're going to come into a runner's lunge. So I want you to walk your foot out to the side of your mat. Plant your right hand inside your right foot. Reach your left hand around if you'd like to take the bind. You can stay on long arms. Use a strap or your hand to kick that left foot into your left hand. Stretching out through that psoas, getting a deep stretch, a hip and a shoulder opener. Breathe in. On your exhale, turn your hips to the front and pull on that foot, changing that stretch into your quad. Take a couple of breaths here, in through your nose and out through your nose. Release that foot, step your left foot into a yoga squat. Now for this squat, it's important that you can kind of relax. So if you need to sit on a block, that is fine. The goal here, and if you don't want to block, you can just not block. The goal here is to open up through that pelvic floor, through the root chakra, letting any blocked energy just release as we press our elbows onto our knees. Press your hands together. Back is straight, the energy flowing all the way up your spinal column and back down, connecting you to the earth. From here, we're going to take a crow pose. So you can plant your hands. I'm going to come back a little bit so I'm not like so far forward, but plant your hands. Knees come into your elbows, or into your armpits, as far as you can. Feet come together. Press your feet together as you just engage your core and let yourself tip forward. Gaze is slightly forward. Everything pulls up and in. Straighten your arms as much as you can. Breathe in. On your exhale, shoot back. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in. Inhale that left foot to the sky. Step forward for warrior one. Rise up as you inhale. Exhale, open up to warrior two. Breathing here. Hips are open now. Gaze is over that left hand. Breathe in and out. Breathe in as you reach forward. Exhale. Open up to reverse your warrior. Rest your elbow, left knee. Open your chest, reach your hand up, and then over for extended side angle. Not collapsing into that side, but opening up. Breathing in and out. Now we square back up. Feet point to the front of your mat, toes in, heels out. I'm going to take a bind with my hands. You can use a strap as I press my hips back and hinge at the hips for a forward fold. Breathe in. Your head is heavy.
Let everything fall out. In fact, shake your head no. Nod your head yes. Loosen up that neck. Release the tension. Let gravity pull you closer and closer to the earth. Take one more breath in. On your exhale, rise back up
And flow side to side for Skandasana. Again, taking your hands down if you need, lifting your heels as you need, opening up. We're going to take one more to the back, and our next time to the front. We're going to turn our feet to the front of the mat, plant our hands inside the left foot. Walk the left foot out to the edge of the mat. You can take lizard's pose if you prefer, just opening up to that hip. Or you can reach your hand to your right foot and take that runner's lunge with the bind. Really kicking that foot into your hand. Now turn your foot, pull in, stretch out that quad. Plant both hands, step your right foot to meet your left. We're going to sink into another yogi squat. This time I am going to sit on a block because there is something about just being able to focus on aligning your spine and pressing those hips open and feeling the connection between your tailbone, where that root chakra is housed, and the earth below. Breathe in as you open those hips. We're going to come up this time. No more crow pose. We're going to walk our feet in, and we're going to hang again in ragdoll. Feeling how maybe it feels different this time. Maybe sink your knees. The goal I want you to have here is your chest is to your thighs. Feeling that connection. And if you need to bend your knees to do that, then bend your knees to do that. If you can straighten your legs and still maintain that contact, that's fine. That's not where I'm at. So flow the way that works for your body. Focusing on rooting those feet into the ground, letting your head be heavy. Exhale. On your inhale, rise up. High mountain pose. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga. High to low we go. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in. We're going to inhale, right foot to the sky, step forward for a crescent lunge. Again, rooting those feet into the ground, all four corners of the front foot, up on the toes of the back foot. Sinking into that front leg, back leg is strong. Shoulders are stacked over your hips. Arms come up, shoulders are down your back. Your ribs are knit together. Gaze is forward. Breathe here. We are going to kick ourselves into a standing twist from here. So we're going to press our weight into that right foot. Kick the left foot up and grab it with the right hand. So one movement if you'd like. You can stay here in staff pose, or you can grab your foot, making sure you're not pulling it across your body, but keeping it in line with your hip as you open up for a twist. Kicking into that hand as you pull back on your foot. Now, bring that foot in to tree pose. You can have your foot on the ground, on your calf, or on your thigh. Hands come to prayer pose, back is straight. You are grounded in that right foot. If you would like to grow your branches, grow your branches. I want you, though, to really focus on the connection between that right foot and the earth beneath you. Again, drawing energy up as if you were a tree being nourished by the earth. From here, we're going to come into half moon pose. So kick that left foot back. Your right hand comes either to the ground or to a block. Left arm reaches up. Gaze can come up for a balance challenge. We're going to just step our foot back as we rise up into Skandasana. Back and forth. We're going to turn our feet to the front of the mat. And then we're going to actually open up to that side plank figure 4 again. So right or left foot is perpendicular to the right side of your mat. Left foot is down. Sink and lower if you like, or stay put. Stretching through the hip. We're going to turn our feet and we're going to work ourselves into a low lunge, this time framing our foot, pressing forward into that hip. Letting that psoas on the left side open. Plant your left hand open up to the right, twisting through your torso. Gaze comes up to that hand. We're going to plant our hands, framing our foot again. Press ourselves back into a pyramid pose. Both feet are towards the front of your mat. Your hips press back. Your back flattens as your crown comes to the head, or the top of your mat. Breathing in. Open up, twisting again to the right side, keeping your hips back. So the twist comes from our torso. Plant your hands again. Step your left foot behind your right for a cross-legged forward fold and walk your hands over to the right side of your mat. Unwind your hands and your feet. Inhale as you rise up to Tadasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. We're going to inhale that left foot to the sky, step it forward into a crescent lunge. Again, grounded in that front foot, pressing all four corners in. If you have problems with stability in your crescent lunge, shorten your stance, widen your stance. You want that knee to stay over the ankle, but you don't have to sink as low into that crescent lunge. Breathe in. As we exhale next time, we're going to kick our right foot forward into our left hand. So here we go again, taking a staff pose if you prefer that. If you're in the standing twist, kicking that right foot into your left hand, rooting in to that left foot. Now, bring it in for a tree pose. Positioning that foot on the ground as you need to really grip and root like a tree, pulling your arches up, pulling the energy up all the way through your leg, all the way into that root chakra, up through the solar plexus, through your heart, your throat, and all the way out through the crown. Grow your branches if you'd like, or stay here. Again, from tree pose, we're going to come into half moon. So this time, our left foot comes to the earth or a block. Right foot comes to the sky, trying to get into a single plane. Rooted through that foot. And we will Skandasana from here. Sinking side to side, low and slow. On our next time to the front, we will turn our feet into a low lunge. Hands come up, stretching into that right psoas. Now, plant that right hand, open up to the left. Both hands frame your foot, pressing into a pyramid pose. Again, the hips stay back. So we plant our right hand and twist open to the left. Rooting in. Step your right foot behind your left. Cross-legged forward fold, walking your hands over to the left. Head stays heavy. We're going to unwind, uncross our feet. Inhale, rise up. High mountain pose. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. I want you to take a couple of cycles of breath, breathing in through your nose, sighing out. Do that 2 more times.
In through your breath, or in through your nose, out through your mouth. And one more. Drop to your elbows, dolphin pose. Hips stay high, pressing into those hands. Tailbone to the sky. You can practice walking forward and backwards as much as you can. No rules here. One more. And forward, now drop to your knees. We're going to come up onto all fours. And we're actually going to take a couple rounds of cat-cow now to move some energy through our hips that are open. So inhale, look up. Tailbone to the sky, belly to the ground. Exhale, around your spine and gaze at your navel. Inhale, look up. Exhale. One more. And gaze at the navel. I want you to take some dynamic movements, moving your hips and shoulders in opposite directions. We are going to sink into a child's pose. So knees come wide, feet together. I want you to stretch your hands out, third eye to the mat. Arms are active in this child's pose. So we're not resting our elbows. This is an active child's pose. Now I want you to kind of gaze up. Walk your hands over to the right. Place your left hand on top of your right and pull back into that left hip, feeling the stretch all the way down your left side. Pulling back. Again, feeling the energy from the earth. Come back to center. Take a breath here. And then walk yourself over to the left, placing your right hand on top and stretching back towards that right hip. Feeling the connection you have to the earth. Walk yourself back to center. Take a couple of breaths here. And when you're ready, on your exhale, press yourself in to another downward facing dog. Active in our down dog. Our ears are between our biceps. Our tailbone is to the sky. We press into the knuckles on those hands. See if you can drop your heels a little bit. You don't have to reach the earth, but feel that stretch all the way from your feet that are rooted in the ground up those back muscles of your legs, your calves, your hamstrings, all the way into your glutes, all the way into the root chakra, pressing and letting the energy flow bidirectionally from the earth to you and back. Inhale your right foot to the sky, and then we're going to press that into half pigeon. Right foot parallel to the mat, or right shin. You can stay up on long arms. If you need to place a block under that right hip, feel free. Or you can fold yourself forward. Really breathing into that hip. Anything that's stuck there, let it out. Send a breath, feel the tension, and then blow it out. Finding stillness in this pose that can sometimes be intense. Focusing on the support of the earth underneath that hip, on the openness you're finding as you relax into it. Come back up onto long arms. We're going to kick our foot back into a downward facing dog. Maybe shake that leg out. Press in. Inhale the left leg to the sky and come into half pigeon, this time on the left. Left shin parallel to the front of your mat. Up on that hip. We're not rocking to the side. That moves the stretch completely. Stay on long arms or come down. Again, if you feel tension in that hip as you move energy through it, send a breath there and let any blocked energy out. Breathing in with ease, breathing out any tension, stress, fear. Come back up to long arms. Press yourself back into a downward facing dog. We are going to find ourselves our way to a comfortable seated position. You can pull your core in and jump to a seat or just sit down, whichever you prefer. We're going to extend our legs out in front of us. And I'm actually going to use a strap today because I want to keep a flat back and really stretch out my sacrum. So the strap comes around my feet. I'm high on my sit bones, my back is straight. I'm going to walk my hands down that strap and pull forward, keeping my back flat. Feeling that stretch in the back of my legs. All the way through that root. Pressing into my strap. If you don't have a strap, you can either grab your feet or you can grab behind your knees if you don't reach your feet. Any of those is fine. I like having the strap to pull on. Release that. And we're going to do pull in our left foot, hands come up. I am going to reach for my right foot with my left hand as I pull on my knee, my left knee with my right hand, twisting open, twisting through that side body. Release, switch sides, right foot comes in. Arms come long, we reach right foot to left, or right hand to left foot, left hand to left knee, and pull ourselves into a seated twist. The next progression from here is compass pose. If that's in your practice, feel free to take that. I haven't really focused a lot on opening the side body today though, so you might not be completely ready for that. Release that foot. We're going to do a couple of core exercises here. So first we're going to lay all the way down on our back.
Our feet are gonna come straight to the sky. Inhale. We're gonna exhale our feet about a third of the way down as we pull in that core as if we were gonna get punched. Breathe in. Exhale, lower the feet another third. Breathe in. 2 inches off the ground. Exhale, about a third of the way up. Exhale, another third. Exhale, all the way up. Just gonna do one of those today. We're gonna now do a little bit of a leg pull, so I want you to kind of put your feet in a splits position. Engage your core as you curve into a C. Your chest comes up, pull on that leg twice and switch. Not forgetting to breathe. So pulse, pulse, that's 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Legs up, tuck and roll. Back up on those sits bones. We're gonna do boat pose. For boat pose, you want on your sits bones, back is straight. You can take whatever variation works for you. If you want, you can keep your feet down, just engage your core and pull yourself tall. You can lift 1 foot at a time, alternating, or both feet can come up, hands can come out. You can extend your legs if that's in your practice. We'll be here for 3 breaths. If you've been here for 3, stay for 5. Stay with us. And drop down. We're gonna lie on our back, come into either bridge or wheel pose. For bridge, your feet are in towards your glutes, your hands are gazing your heels. You're gonna tilt your pelvis, press yourself up into a bridge pose. Rooting into those feet, walk your hands together, clasp them and open up your chest. Shine your heart open. This is kind of the equivalent of wheel. Breathing here. Letting that breath flow. Glutes are engaged. Release to the floor. We're going to take a break. We're going to do that again, this time bridge or wheel, whichever you prefer. Plant your hands for wheel. So if you're in bridge, take bridge again. That's totally fine. We've walked through it. If you're in wheel, hands point in towards your shoulders. Feet are planted in towards your glutes. Elbows are in. Knees are in. We're going to come up to the crown of our head. Keeping your elbows in, press yourself up. Straighten your arms. Keep your knees in. Breathe in as you shine that heart open. And exhale. Keep breathing. And come down. Take Supta Baddha Konasana, feet together, knees wide. One hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. Let your breath slow your heartbeat. Couple breaths here. Feeling your connection to the earth. We're going to take happy baby. Hands, so feet come to the sky, also known as dead bug. You can grab behind your knees and pull down. You can grab your ankles, or you can grab the outer edges of your feet. Whatever you choose, make sure your sacrum, your tailbone, is rooted to the ground. So your root is rooted. And just pull those legs down with your arms.
Rock side to side if you'd like to massage that low back. Feet come to the sky. We're going to press our hips up. Well, you can stay here. This is waterfall pose. You can place a block under your hips if you'd like, or we can come into shoulder stand. So for shoulder stand, hands are long, core engages. We use those abs and our hands to press our hips over our shoulders. Not looking to the right or the left. Press your hips forward, toes point, glutes are engaged. Allow your feet to slowly and with control come to the ground behind you. Press yourself into plow pose. We're going to slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, roll ourselves to the ground. Plant your feet. Just position yourself kind of centered on your mat. If you would like to conclude your practice here, you can. Otherwise, we're going to bring our feet into tabletop. Arms tee out to the side. We drop our knees to the right. Gaze comes to the left for a supine twist. Bring your feet back to center. Knees come up, over to the left. Gaze comes to the right. You can grab your knees with your hand if you'd like to deepen that side twist a little bit. Always remembering your breath. From here, release everything to the mat. So feet come down, arms splay out to the side for your final resting pose or Shavasana. In this Shavasana, I want you to focus on complete relaxation. If you need to tense your body and release, start with your feet. Feel the tension. Pull everything in and release. And work your way all the way up your body as you feel the earth support you and provide energy to and from your body. Releasing any remaining tension. Allowing your breath to return to normal. Unclench your jaw. Unfurrow your brow. As you rest, I'm going to read a poem from, this is Maya Angelou and Still I Rise. The poem is Still I Rise. You may write me down in history with your bitter twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still, like dust, I'll rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? 'Cause I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room. Just like moons and like suns, with the certainty of tides, just like hopes springing high, still I'll rise. Did you want to see me broken, bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries? Does my haughtiness offend you? Don't you take it awful hard,
because I laugh like I've got gold mines digging in my own backyard. You may shoot me with your words, you may cut me with your eyes, you may kill me with your hatefulness, but still, like air, I'll rise. Does my sexiness upset you? Does it come as a surprise that I dance like I've got diamonds at the meeting of my thighs? Out of the huts of history's shame, I rise. Up from a past that's rooted in pain, I rise. I'm like a black ocean leaping and wide, welling and swelling, I bear in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise. Into a daybreak that's wondrously clear, I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave, I am the dream and the hope of the slave. I rise, I rise, I rise. Take a deep breath in. Bring some movement to your fingers and toes. Bringing your hands to heart center. We'll seal our practice with one Om. Bringing your thumbs to your third eye. The light in me sees and acknowledges the light in you. We bow and say, Namaste. Thank you for joining me in this practice. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you find release of fear or things holding you back, and that you have a beautiful day. I love you all. Bye.